So get in there. Now cross your arms back around over your chest. Right? So wrap out. So now, this is your spine. So you want to wind your center to the right side of your spine and stay tall. Feel that? This feels like you're loading, but you're shutting your turn off. Okay? So get in your posture. Stay tall. Feel that?
That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
So like I think, and I mean I love the stuff you do in the gym, but I know some of that stuff like you don't want to do that.
No scrunching.
No scrunching, like you don't want your head like so if you go this way, one you're not turning, but two you're changing your distance to the ball.
Yeah, it doesn't help anything.
Right. So do that again. You cross your arms over your chest. Okay. Wind. Now how different does that? It's just way easier to do. Right. So do two or three more of those. I'm gonna film that. Go. So look at this. Right. So now make that backswing pivot with what we're trying to do with your arm. Right.
I'm going very slow.
Do that backswing with your coat button. Okay.
I brought it with me.
See?
I still have it.
I'm gonna sign that damn thing before you're done. Right?
Is there any way I should hold this thing? Just no.
Right? Stay there. So look, here's your. All right. So now here's your spine. Turn to that side of it and make your arm. Right? Feel that? And if you do that, that'll get even easier to do what you're trying to do with your right arm. Okay. See how you're more to the right?
Yeah, feel it.
There you go. So that move put. I just think that like you've done such a nice job developing, but you couldn't do too many in front of a mirror. Like if you put a piece of tape down, it would be like your stick where I'm using your spine, right? And you stood there, and so it ran through your nose, out your ass, and you turned your rib cage to the side so your spine stayed on that stick, but you rotate your center around it. Like you could do a bunch of those, and I think they'd help you.
That's probably where I get my like couple high chunk things. So I'm like doing this.
Well, so here's why you hit it thin and fast. If you go down, you have to go up.
Yeah.
Right? Now that does create some speed, but if you go down, sometimes you go up too much and you hit it thin. Sometimes you don't go up enough and you hit it fast. Sometimes you go up the right amount and you hit it perfect. But go slow. Great try.
The contact immediately got better.
Right?
So that's good news.
different.
Yeah.
So again, I think like part of this is, you learning what you're trying to do. Get in there and show me. Backswing only, right? So you wind your rib cage and you let that right arm fold. There you go.
Yeah, let it fold instead of just drop.
Right.
Like this is what we were doing before.
That's yeah.
And now it's this.
Yeah. And I think you got to be careful. Go make that backswing. That you don't let. Yeah. See, that's good. See how the elbow's in front of the seam of your shirt, right? Keep your head towards the ball, right? And you keep turning, and the club is pointed that way, right? You get this way and the shaft up.
You know, all sorts of new muscles working. Or different.
Keep going. That was beautiful. See, and that should feel like less effort, right?
Yeah, it's easier. The turning thing is way easier.
Right.
Instead of like going down and back up.
So stay tall. Right?
Felt better.
Yeah, so you look at this. Look how much taller. Club's better. Still a hair across.
Yeah.
But look how much taller and how much more loaded you are.
So, like, should my right knee, like, straighten at all, or should it just kind of stay?
No, I think you want to maintain the flexion.
Okay, because I remember us talking about that. Just wanted to make sure.
But you want to maintain your height.
Yeah.
But I so get in there and set up. Put this under your foot. Hold this with your right hand. Okay. Yep. Now, turn. Make your right arm. There you go. Now push it away from you. There you go. Good. Do that again. Stay right there. I'm going to fix your hip posture. You want to make sure that pelvis is a little. I like that better. Now, turn. So make your right arm like it's got that Coke bottle. Push it away. Push it away at the top. Feel like your right arm stretches. That's better. Right? So that's overdone. So like I think a great key is when you do that, if your arms get behind you, you're gonna run that band into your nuts.
Yeah.
Right? So you're trying to hinge and stretch and turn so that that band goes. You don't want to pop yourself in the ball. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna film a couple of those. That's beautiful.
So that helps with not getting it too far behind me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. One more. Now, get your rib cage over to the right. Right? So look at this. That's better, but it can still be more straight.
Like the top half more?
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
The hands are doing the right thing.
Right. Because that gives you some leverage with that, to stretch that band.
I need one that's this light.
Yeah. But it comes in that pivot package you use,
Should I purchase a pivot pack?
Of course you should. On Amazon. No, I got some with me.
I will gladly take a pivot pack.
Great job. Great job. More in front of you.
Yeah.
But it's better.
Feels like my hands are floating in space when it's more in front.
Yep. Beautiful. Beautiful. Right?
Yeah. It's all solid.
Awesome. Awesome. Less toady.
Oh, yeah. Divots are shallow. So I'm not just smoking the toe. It's good. Yeah, it feels like the club's going through how it should.
You know, and I also think that, like, as teachers, we get, I mean, it's hard because, you bill by the hour. I get all that shit, right? But, like, yesterday and today, for me as a coach, is great because I get to work with you, but I get to go watch you on the golf course. That's where we have the advantage with tour players. And,
Yeah.
you can watch them on TV, go to events, and you watch them and stuff like that. But, like, yesterday, to see how when you got on the golf course, in particular, the driver got more behind you like that, right?
Yeah.
So you get to see more of what your tendencies are.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important when you're teaching and developing players, really of any ability.
Yeah.
You got to spend time watching them play. It's hard to do,
Yeah.
and people don't. I mean, you got to figure out the right how to do it so it makes sense. But like going like that's why I do so much of where I get 2, 3, 4, 5 good players together, and we just work for a few days, right?
Yeah.
Because you get to see it on the golf course.
Well, I think something good for you and too is I drive it too, so it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: I'll drive it great like in practice, but when I'm playing a golf tournament or something, I'll tend to get like a right miss.
Yeah, because that's yeah.
So I think it's just how I'm moving.
But you said yesterday, oh, I'm just swinging the driver, which there is some great parts of that.
I try not to think about it.
But I think what you need to do is when I'm holding that stick there,
Yeah.
and you make that move, I think whatever that feels like to you, that's what you're trying to make it feel like on the golf course.
Mm-hmm.
I think you want to start trying to think about when I do the one that's really good and we look at it on the iPad and it's the best closest it's been to where we want it. What did that feel like?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Dr. Carton, I don't know if you've met Greg yet, but he always talks about figuring out what it feels like. And then he'll say to me, one time he was a kid, or somebody was like, "Oh, it feels like this," and I was jumped in. I was like, "No," because it didn't seem to be with what I said.
Yeah.
And Greg stopped me, and he was like, "No, that's bullshit. Like, it doesn't matter what I think it feels like. If you feel like when you make the perfect one, and I say, what'd that feel like, and you go pizza, well then pizza to you is whatever it feels like, right? Or whatever it is. So we got to help you. I think to perform better, we got to help you get more in tune with what the good ones or the closer ones to what we want feel like. And that's why I always am saying things like, taller. Do you feel taller? It's helping you get more in touch.
Yeah.
More in front of you. Yep. Beautiful right there. So good. Getting better and better at the top. And you also look like you're working less hard to do it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm not like lowered. That was a big thing. That helped a lot. Staying like taller and rotating around taller.
Yeah. Night and day better.
Yeah, I feel taller. That's like the biggest thing.
right?
It's probably easier for me.
That's why I think it's so critical, the stuff you do in the gym, to match what you're trying to do in your golf swing. Because we're trying to load, so I want all of your stuff to be loading patterns where you load in, and I want this, right? I don't want stuff where you go back,
I gotta write that down.
right? Because
Yeah.
all that's doing is fucking you up. Because that's all that's doing is making you do more of this on the golf course.
Right. Yeah, I gotta
So
tell.
you got to tell it, like, we want to load, but we don't want to change levels.
No.
Now, I don't want you standing, but I want
Stay
you
the
to.
same.
I want you to. Yeah, you got to stay
Stay
tall.
the same.
Shit, use your body.
Tallness.
Use how big and athletic you are.
Yeah, I don't need to do the other stuff.
Right. So show me a big, tall turn, arms in front. Yeah, that's it. Shit, that's all you got to do. Perfect. And I mean, that was absolutely tits.
Yeah.
Right? You don't need to do it any better.
Sweet.
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it's easier to do. Yesterday I was working pretty hard to like get the bottle feel, but that feels easier to do when I stay tall.
So again, hit one more, then do the bottle, and do the bottle staying tall. See if it feels easy. And how good is that? Yeah.
That's all we're doing? Yeah, that's
it.
way easier.
Right? Again, hold on. Right, tall. So when you look at this, right, it goes where it's trying to go. So now you do that with a club, right?
Now, will my wrist bow at the top, or will it just get there?
I mean, I don't want you to bow it.
Okay, good.
Right?
I
Because
didn't
your grip is
think
strong.
so.
I don't want
Yeah.
it bowed.
Yeah.
I want this under, and I want your left wrist flat in the face where I don't want it bowed.
Yeah, I didn't think I wanted it bowed either. Didn't sound like a recipe for success.
All. Pretty good. Little hung right, but we could play it.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I'm not even trying to shape it right now.
If it was a fish, we wouldn't throw it back.
No.
Right. Again. So watch this. It's better, right?
Yeah.
It's still a little twist, but it's better.
I gotta stay on top of the takeaway.
You just gotta put both parts together. And there's, I would separate what you're doing. Like I would hit some balls where all I'm working on is staying tall and rotating my trunk this way. And then I'd hit some balls where all I'm doing is the bottle, right? And then I would hit some where I'm trying to hit shots at a target. I'm trying to put both together. I think it's hard to do a bunch of things.
So when I'm working on my swing, the three things I should be doing, but one at a time, are staying tall with the rotation, the bottle, and like folding instead of moving back, and then like the drill we've done with the two sticks for takeaway. You think? And then when
I
I'm
think
not working,
I wouldn't worry about the sticks for takeaway. If you do the bottle, you're gonna fix the takeaway.
yeah, it's true.
Okay.
And
Two
then
things.
if I want to work on like shaping shots, like what would be a good way to do that? Like on the range, because I like sometimes I just hit balls on the course with no like intention.
So I would
shape.
put
I
I'd
like
put
that.
something down here, and I'd put a stick in the ground in between the ball and the target line.
Mm-hmm.
And I would hit some that start left and curve right, and I'd hit some that start right and curve left.
Should I manipulate my setup, or should it all
Yeah.
be
So if you want to hit a
swing?
get in there square. If you want to hit a draw, I'd move it back and I'd drop my right foot back
Mm-hmm.
and I'd try to swing a little bit more down my feet. I'd get square, move it up, open my stance, swing down my feet, hold the face open along the fade. I'd start with it that simple.
Yeah.
And then go from there.
And then one last thing for driver, like how can I work on like my setup and stuff so that stays in like a good spot too?
You got to practice every day. Every time you practice with shit down, so you know where it is.
With driver?
I mean, I don't think people aim shitty on purpose.
No.
I think they think they're aimed right and the ball's in the right spot. So you got to teach yourself. Will, I mean, you're great at it. Always putting stuff down. You build perception.
Yeah.
So you got to practice with stuff down so you build awareness.
Well,
and it's still hard.
I do that for my like irons and stuff, but I like don't really hit drivers in the range. One, because of the range balls I've got, and two, how long the range is. Should I just go out on the course and throw stuff down with driver?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But I mean, even